Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of Game of Thrones Season 5. This week we got to see Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 8, Hardhome. Major spoiler warning for this week. If you guys haven't seen Hardhome yet, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and watch it before you watch this review, because I'm going to spoil it. And this week's episode was so one of the best episodes I've ever seen of any TV series, that's for sure. So for this week's giveaway, because you guys know I'm doing the giveaways, I've decided I'm going to do the Jon Snow Dark Horse figure, which has been sent to us for promotion from the HBO store. I'll put the link in the description for the HBO official Game of Thrones store, so you guys can go ahead and click there if you want to buy some awesome, figures or T-shirts, different houses. They got all kinds of stuff on there, drinkware and different things like that. Also in the giveaway this week, there'll be some Game of Thrones coasters, which are really cool. Again, they supplied those, and a Greyjoy ceramic stein. We do not sew. So very cool with the cranking on it. So that's cool. Last week's winner was Peyton Engelstad, but you haven't responded to me yet, Peyton. You won the giveaway. Send me a message, because I messaged you, and you obviously haven't checked your messages. So very cool. Nobody impersonating to be him either messaged me, because I've had a few people do that in the past before. Not cool, guys. Not cool. I will check and make sure it's the actual person. So that's it. Very cool. So like I said, check out the link in the description for the HBO store. All kinds of awesome stuff there for you guys to check out if you love Game of Thrones. So let's get on with the review, man. This week's episode. Okay, so you guys know me at this point. Subscribers, all you guys, all 136,000 of you. You know me at this point. You know what I like. I've got a weird obsession with zombies. I like me some zombies. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I've seen, more zombie related video, movies, TV series, comic books, whatever, than any healthy person should ever see, read, or whatever in their entire lives. Probably 5 times over, way more. And I have never seen anything like this episode. This was amazing. I mean, we've seen certain things with the White Walkers before and kind of what they're doing, but this one, especially the scene, the battle at the end at Hardhome, man, just incredible quality. Favorite part for me, you guys to enter the giveaway for this week. Write your favorite part in the comments below of, what your favorite part was. For me, it had to be when the Night King, used his super undead powers to raise the dead after the battle. When the battle was over and all the snow had settled, and he just kind of looks straight at Jon Snow, and he puts the hands, and then all the bodies and everything, especially that female, the one wildling, girl who had put her kids in the ship going off, and she was all gashed up and everything, eyes are blue, and just all the rest of them, man. That was so incredible when he just kind of looked at him. It was like a leader standoff. He looked right at him like he knew. He's like, he's the king of the undead, right? And he's looking right at Jon like, oh, he must be. There's Alpha, right? And he knows right away. It's Alpha from one pack looking at Alpha from the other, and they're just having this face off. Like, and you got to be thinking to yourself, Jon's thinking, what the hell are we going to do to deal with this? How are we going to deal with this? Because even though they were able to get a good number of the wildlings, well, maybe not a good number, not a high percentage, but they were able to get some of them to join and to come with them, and fill out their little sailboats going to their ships and everything, right? It's nothing compared to the amount that were slaughtered in the process, and it was just crazy time, and they would be there at that moment when the Night King and the others attack, and it was just, oh my god, so exciting, so crazy. You got skeletal zombies, because it's just undead generally, right? You're not dealing with just zombies, but you've got skeletons that are, kind of magically moving around. They look like little spiders, and they're like jumping up on top of the giant and stuff, and he keeps throwing them off, right, over and over and over again. They're like climbing up the wall and everything, and oh my god, breaking it down. That was just such an exciting scene at the end. Also the part when Jon fights the one White Walker with the huge, it's like a spear sword thing, I don't even know what kind of weapon you'd call that, undead spear sword. He's got like it's half, he's holding it the other half, and he pushes, or he hits him with the blunt end of it, and he goes off, and he's like feeling his chest. Oh my God, so exciting! Especially when it first starts happening, you're like, okay, what is happening? What's going on? Then you look up and you see, on the hill in the snow, you see the White Walkers up there, some of them on horseback, and that, looking down as you can kind of get an idea of, okay, this is like a full-on onslaught. They're coming to gather. They're coming to, kill as many wildlings as they can and integrate them into their necromancy army. So that was really cool. That was some of the coolest supernatural stuff we've seen, and super scary. Now we can totally get behind and understand why Jon wants to bring as many of the wildlings with him as he can, and why he went on the mission in the first place. So, man, the final battle, just incredible. Some of the best stuff we've seen in Game of Thrones, period. Like, that battle at the end was, usually it's episode 9 from each season, which is like the big episode. Last year we had the big battle as well too, if you guys remember that. But this season, this was by far the biggest episode we've seen so far, and I'm excited to see what they do next week as well. In episode 9 and episode 10, but this one was just so incredible, man. Just awesome stuff. So aside from the battle at the end and how exciting that was, how much I love that, and really like Jon as a character now quite a bit, and after everything he's gone through, everything we've seen him do, and just his decisions he's making, we can clearly see that he's in the right. We'll have to see how the rest of the Night's Watch reacts when he gets back, and how they act, because a lot of them don't really know what they're dealing with. They haven't seen. It's kind of like one of those situations where you just wish you had like a camera or a cell phone or something, just take a picture of like all these wildlings as the Night King stand there like that. They fully understand, but they at this point in time, I'm pretty sure we'll see what happens when he gets back. But a lot of them may not fully agree with him or understand what he's doing. So aside from all the epicness that was that crazy battle, one of the best parts in all of Game of Thrones for sure, no question about it. We also had, a lot of other things happening, different locations. We had Cersei, getting to see her. She's basically seems to be in totally dire straits, really bad situation. They're trying to get her. They're trying to beat a confession out of her, basically, by starving her, it seems, and, not giving her water, pouring the water out and that. So, she kind of deserves it at this point after what she's done all the way through the series. She's done a lot of wrong, a lot of things to a lot of different characters. So, whatever they do to her is whatever at this point. I really don't care. You kind of feel bad for her because you never like to see somebody in pain like that. But after all the things she's done, it's like, she kind of deserves it more than anybody, really. We also had the stuff with Sansa and Reek, who, Reek, I guess we should call him Reek instead of Theon now. Informs her that Bran and Rickon are actually still alive, or that he didn't kill them. So that was a pretty cool scene. We haven't seen Bran this season at all, or his whole group. So we'll have to see what happens with them. Interested to see when they bring them back, or how they do, if they'll be this season or probably next season. We'll have to see what happens with that. But I did like that. I did like that scene, and it kind of brings back to mind that the saying of a naked man has few secrets, a flayed man has none, and why he kind of tells on Sansa earlier that he's actually trying to help her. So we had that, and then we had Ramsay who said he's going to actually take the battle to Stannis. So interested to see how that goes or what happens with that, and whether or not we'll see that in episode 9 or 10, or if it'll get pushed into next season. I hope we'll see some kind of battle between Stannis' group and the Boltons at this point. But 20 men, I don't know. Ramsay's kind of crazy, but we'll have to see if he's as tough as he thinks he is. Interesting. I can't wait to see what happens with that. That's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most for the rest of the season is the two of them, hoping that they face off, Ramsay, the Boltons, and Stannis. Good stuff. So that was all good. We also saw quite a few scenes or a couple scenes with Tyrion and Daenerys, which was good. It was so weird just kind of seeing them just talking to each other, just seeing them just speak, and her kind of accepting him as her advisor, because we weren't sure if she was actually going to, if she was going to just reject him, kill him, something like that. But, after all this time in the series and him being such an important character, he definitely can be useful to her, and he's even at one point here, he's trying to kind of tell her, are you sure you really want, to do this? You want the Iron Throne? You want that? Because, he's seen quite a bit, from King's Landing, and it's not as great as it seems to be. Ask Tommen right now. Yeah, so I won't go on too much longer about the episode. I mean, there's a few other things, but that's really most of what I wanted to say. It was just an incredible episode in terms of score. I'm going to give this one a perfect 10 out of 10. This was a perfect episode, getting to see the Night King and the White Walkers and the assault and all the action that was there. It was really artistic. It was really different, and it was movie quality, movie quality all the way through, which was incredible. So absolutely loved it. Game of Thrones Hardhome, one of my favorite episodes of the series ever. Definitely a top 5 episode for, the entire series, I would say, so far. Right up there with the children, with last year's big battle, and all the others we've had previously, Blackwater and all that. So perfect 10 out of 10 for me. Love the episode. Thought it was absolutely incredible. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Write your comments below, favorite part. And if you like the video, please thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, please share it, favorite it. And if you're new and you want to subscribe at the bottom left, go ahead and click there too. Subscribe to see more of my weekly reviews, more of my Game of Thrones discussion topic videos, and the review for the Jon Snow figure coming up very soon. Anyway, that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you again real soon. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace.